As an INFJ, we often feel like the odd one out in our family. And it's particularly hurtful when it's your family because those are the people who know you the best, who have been there with you, who you have been there for. And still, it feels like you're the scapegoat, you're the person that everybody targets if they're not happy with the atmosphere. And it seems like you're the black sheep no matter what you do. Well, I'm here to tell you if you're in that situation and you don't want to divorce your entire family, you have to become the leader of them. It is what it is. It does not mean that you have to overpower them. It does not mean that you have to be the one who's like above your parents or anything like this. But you for yourself have to get to a place where you know, I'm never going to fit in, but that's okay. That's actually a flex. Because this is not the kind of dynamic we want this family to evolve with. We're going to heal generational trauma and we're going to do that while feeling intact ourselves. So today we're talking about 5 signs that you're the black sheep of your family and why this is a flex. Before we get started, I want to remind you, if you haven't done this so far, to download the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. And if you want to take it to the next level, get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. It will help you to start taking action today in your life and turn it around into the life you always wanted it to be. This is based on thousands of INFJs that I've worked with. It is all the lessons learned, and you can use all those strategies to catapult your life into the next level. Everything you need to know you can find through the links in the description. Sign number 1. You see the patterns that no one else sees. And very often when you have generational trauma in your family, like most families do, the main problem is that nobody is aware of them. Everybody gets triggered and everybody only reacts at the superficial argument that is happening at this moment. We as INFJs are not like that. We see the underlying patterns, we see why people are doing this, and this is a necessary component. You cannot stop seeing those patterns. You can pretend like you don't see them, but the fact that you're not getting triggered by them like everybody else does will already trigger other people. So you cannot escape it. Being somebody who sees those patterns will put you in the position of being the target one way or another. And the truth is, you can't really change anything about this. That being said, being the target does not mean that you have to stay the victim. It also doesn't mean that you have to be the martyr. You actually have to be the one who will take on charge in this entire situation, turn it around, and then become the standard of how everybody's going to behave in the long term. It's not an easy process, but what other choice do you have? If you don't want to leave your family behind, you have to be the one who changes everything. And it's not going to happen by you explaining it to others. It's going to happen by you embodying something else. So no, the fact that you see those patterns that nobody else is seeing is something that you just cannot change. And so there's no reason to try to explain it to others. There's no reason to pity yourself that you see those patterns. See this as a strength, and now let's get to work. Sign number 2, you're the emotional dumping ground until you say no more. As INFJs, we're the ones that everybody comes to because we have the capacity to hold others' pain. We're there to really be the recipient of what they're going through. We're making space for others. We allow them to express and experience their emotions in a healthy way because we are creating a container for it. This is one of our big qualities. It's one of our skills, and it's something that we love to do because we can, because it is a relief for somebody else. But what we have to understand is that if you're being that dumping ground for other people, nothing will change. You are probably enabling their behavior because they have no reason to change it. Very often they will even double down because now there isn't that pain anymore. You have actually taken something off their plate. So if they're really used to drama and feeling pain, then they automatically are going to create more pain to get back to the old benchmark. So know that just because you can take on other people's pain, that does not mean that you should. And as painful as it may be, it's time that you stop this. You're not the emotional garbage bag for other people's problems. And specifically, you're not going to do this if it's your family that you're going to be around with. You want them to succeed, you want them to be happy, well, then stop being there for them in this way. You think they're not going to handle it, then they will change their behavior. Don't feel like, oh, they're going to go down the drain if this happens. Sometimes people have to hit rock bottom before they change, and you've already tried the other way around. It doesn't help, and of course you're going to be the black sheep of the family if you're always there for other people and then one time you say, that's it. Of course, people are going to dislike this. Sign number 3, you're not following the script. Families very often have unspoken rules. This is how we behave. These are our values. These are our morals. This is what we like. This is what we dislike. This doesn't work for INFJs. We see the rules. We might even play by the rules in order not to rock the boat, but we will never internally feel like that is correct. We will never feel like I'm going to respect those rules and I'm going to be a recipient of those rules, and that's how the system needs to be. We know in our core that we're meant to live life the way we see fit, the way that makes sense to us, that allows us to be authentically ourselves. And if this means that we're not going to play by the rules that our family wants us to play, we're always going to have this undercurrent of emotions that tells us this is not how it's supposed to be. This in itself will lead you to being the black sheep. That in itself will make the people around you question what is wrong with you. And it doesn't mean that you have to make your family wrong or say that the way they're living life is, unmoral or anything like this. But it's on you to say, I deserve to be as authentically myself as I possibly can. And my family is supposed to respect that. And if they can't, then they have to find a way to deal with it. If they don't like it, they can distance themselves from me. But I'm going to stand here and I'm going to show up as authentically as I can. And they might try to change me, but when you stop having any kind of conversations that are about I'm explaining myself or I'm justifying my behavior, but it's more like, well, that's how I am. I'm weird, I'm different, so what? Deal with it. Or if you can't handle this, really find a way outside of me. I am not here to have debates. You can think I'm a bad person. You can think I'm a bad sibling, whatever it may be, deal with it. Be the bad guy in that situation. Stop being the excuse for other people to put their negativity and their rage onto you and you having compassion for them. Have compassion for yourself first. Sign number 4, your family sees different as a threat. So if you have been grown up in a family that have learned to keep their head down because that's the only way they're going to be safe, then they automatically are going to want to keep you at that level as well. I've experienced this myself, and I've experienced this particularly actually with really close friends of mine, and it really comes from a place of I want to protect you. When you stand out like a sore thumb, of course people are going to want to attack you. That's their worldview. That's how they go through life. But that is a limiting belief, because you showing up the way you are does not mean that you're taking up space that doesn't belong to you. Yes, your family might want to protect you, but let them try to protect you and say, I'm still going to do this. If they're afraid, then let them be afraid. You're not going to be afraid. You're going to show them that there's a different way. And all I can say to this is bring it on. And I'm not even talking about your family members, because it's your family members that want to protect you in this one particular area or in this particular example. But you can say, watch me how I master life. Watch me how I go and get mine. And I will stand there and I will not let anything take me off my path, because my path is about showing up as authentically as I am. And it's about standing up and being an example for yourself and for others that the way you are is just right. If your family members think you cannot go through life this way, you're not going to make it, then let them think that. Just don't be open about it to them, because you don't need that additional negative energy. Show them that you can, prove to yourself that you can, because at the end of the day, who's going to stop you? If you decide for yourself that this is the one variable that is never up for debate, then what is supposed to stop you? What is going to make you stop besides yourself? Nobody can make you not be yourself. And you know you got the power to hold on to it. So be an example of what it means to be authentically yourself and completely unapologetic about it. Sign number 5. You're meant to stand out, not to fit in. As INFJs, fitting in is just not in the cards for us. We can do it, no problem. That's why we're so great at being a chameleon. But every single INFJ will tell you, every single time I'm fitting in, I don't belong. I can either fit in or I can belong, because true belonging means that I can be myself and I'm going to be accepted the way I am. And if you have to make those choices, you always have to choose belonging, because you rather want to be disliked for who you are than to be liked for who you're not. And if you, whatever you try, even if you try to make yourself small, and we've all done that. We've all tried to like just duck our head and not cause any problems so people just leave us alone. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work because that's not the way it's supposed to be. You're meant to stand up. You're meant to break the cycle. You're meant to break generational trauma because you can, because you're the only one that can. And people around you will push you so long until you take the call. And it always starts with you. This is not about neglecting what is best for you and doing what is best for others. It's all about saying, I will protect myself first. I will give the oxygen to me first. And through that, I will show everybody in my family, everybody who loves me, everybody who's part of my group, even if they don't do it consciously, I will show them that there's a different way. And it doesn't work by you saying to everybody, believe in yourself, you're a good person, you don't need to be doing all of this. You do this by showing them. You're doing this by showing them that you prioritize your soul, your authentic core, what you really believe in. You're not playing games. You're not going to be fake. You're not going to pretend you're weaker than you are. And through that, you will see the shifts happen. They won't happen overnight, but they will happen. But they can only happen if you decide once and for all that from now on, you're never going to be that old version of yourself who tries to pretend like they're weaker just to avoid rocking the boat. You're going to rock the boat anyway. So let's do it with a splash and make the others either conform to what you're doing or change their way of living or just distance themselves for you. But you're not going to dim your light in order to make other people comfortable, even if they are your family. Remember, if you want some more help with getting that momentum started, because once you're on the trajectory of that life, all is taken care of. If you want some more insights into this, I can really recommend the free poster on the INFJ Epic Life formula. This is really a step-by-step process, how to get the ball rolling. And if you want to take it to the next level, then really get the INFJ Epic Life audio guide. It goes really deep when it comes to the strategies that work for the INFJ and that will help you to get the momentum going and know for a fact that you're tapping into your INFJ Epic Life. Everything you need to know, you can find through the links in the description. And if you want to watch another video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.